Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good.
Mm.
I'm all right. Did you? Oh, are you just getting up for the day?
Yeah, well, no, I woke up around, I think it was 9-ish or so, and texted a friend, but then I passed out again. On my day off,
You just
if I want
rest.
to sleep, I want to sleep, you know?
I'm not judging you.
No, I know.
I'm not judging you at all. I just
Mm.
put link.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What's up?
I'm just reading my dad's text. He doesn't, sometimes I wake up to a text from my father, and he is quite a character.
Oh, my family's full of characters.
Right, right, you feel me.
Yeah, such to be expected from the likes of me, though.
Ah, beware expected.
Yeah,
Expected
true.
is a dangerous word.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it can also not be stopped either. I think people are just
True.
pretty much
Or,
trained to have expectations from conception. So
oh,
one,
there
two,
you
three,
are.
four, and who?
Mm.
There, who
No, we
is? Let me
don't
take these
want.
headphones off.
Oh, what? Who's so, what?
What? Okay,
I
there we
heard.
go.
Okay.
Shared everywhere. Let the room buzz up a little bit. There's only two people in here. Hi,
Yeah,
Thierry.
well, we're just waking up. Well, not waking up. We're just getting started.
Yeah,
Mm. I'm excited to talk about trust, Vinny. I really am.
I know. I'm excited to have you talk about it as well and hear what people
Why?
have to say about the topic. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rashad Radio. We have messages.
Hey, this is Jacob. I'm in LA. Just wanted to say hello. Just finished my Zoom therapy session and then got a notification about this show. So, looking forward to hearing it. Ciao.
Hey, Jacob from LA. How are you, love? I hope that you are doing well and all is going well for you. So glad that you are here. And yes, we're just letting the room build up for a little bit, and then we'll be getting into this conversation very shortly.
Yeah. Hi, Jacob.
I don't think we've talked about chores before, at least not together.
Yeah, not specifically either. It's always a side piece to the main topic.
Well, why don't we unpack what it is that
Hmm.
led you to pick this particular topic, as far as the conversation is concerned?
Oh,
Was there a lead
well,
up? Was there something that happened? Like,
well, in this case, it's not so much something. It's happened with me, but a coworker is recently going through a divorce, and just listening to him talk to me, and I mean, I'm not going to give any private information, but I found it very interesting how logical some people can be, but when it comes to the logic of what broken trust means and forgiveness, they'll totally make the exception because they want to trust. And so that's sort of what I was excited to talk about, the difference between trusting someone who deserves it or making the mistake of wanting to trust someone,
right?
you know, because we can never
That's,
control whether or not we can trust somebody else. You have to earn it. And that's why I was saying, you get it, right?
I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm in a place right now where
I
I'm
know
in,
you
like,
get it.
I'm in a space right now with people where it's like, I think so many, like, I know that myself and so many people like me have had. issues with the subject of trust because honestly, I lived in a pretty protected and safe environment as a kid growing up.
Mm.
So I was led to believe that you trust people until they give you a reason not to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And that
That's
led me
very
into a
common.
lot of people got me into a lot of shit.
Yep.
Because people took that for granted and could see that it written all over my face and would take advantage of me from jump gate because they knew that I was going to give them the opportunity to prove me wrong one time. And all you gotta do is really just fuck somebody over really bad one time and get everything that you need out of them that one instance. That way that they don't have to deal with you moving forward. It's kind of like a clean cut. I get what I want out of the situation type situation. And so for me, I think it's always because I'm such a loving person. Like I have a super big heart.
Super
And I
big
want to love
heart.
everybody. Yeah, I just want to I want to be very much like Care Bears out here in these streets, and it's just that's not the reality of the world we live in, and so it's always hard for me to kind of like come to a understanding or come to a revelation of when it is okay for me to let my defenses down, or if I'm being overly critical, or if I'm, you know what I mean, like, and maybe this is all a testament to where I am in my personal growth, or where I am in my personal journey to self-love and forgiveness and evolution. But these are all questions I think that a lot of people kind of struggle with. And so I really wanted to provide a space for people to have this conversation because I know I can't be the only one having these questions, especially turning 30 in 2 weeks and doing a lot of reflection. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad this was the first talk I did. I ended up not doing my morning show this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because my co-host ended up having a bad day yesterday and kind of forgot about the
Mm.
show and overslept. And I've been having a bad weekend, kind of going through flow and ebbs of like stages of numbness and depression. So it's just been
Okay.
really dark for me as of lately. So I'm happy to be having more of a productive and healthier environment
Conversation, yeah.
now.
Well, I'm happy you're here with us too, Vinny. You're safe with Gritti. It's all good.
That's cute.
We're not
I
gonna get
know
into
I
the
am.
cliche, you know what I'm saying? Of like the safe. We talked about that safe space.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting topic for later, but we've been you and I have been
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. I definitely want to
And
have
not
that
to talk in
conversation.
front of everybody. Yeah, we're gonna stay on topic, people. We're gonna stay on topic, people. But yeah, it's anyway, moving on. We don't want to get into drama. Let's move away from drama and towards positive information, shall we? I need to make some coffee, Vinny.
You are sleepy.
I know, right? Can I play this next message?
We can play. Yeah, let's play out the cue. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening
You're better at
and
this.
for joining us for another episode of Baggage Check. I'm sorry that I missed Friday's episode. I ended up linking up with an old. It's a whole thing. We'll talk about it
It's
a
a
little
whole
later.
thing.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's a whole thing, and
scandalous.
it probably what triggered my depression. Because I'm
Oh,
realizing that everybody's not doing like nobody's doing good right now. I don't know what's going on. Like I heard that
you're right.
Mercury is in Pisces or Aries, one of those two, and nobody is doing well right now. Like literally nobody's doing well right now. And so I think that all of that energy just kind of like just affected me in a way I was not ready. Because I've been protected. I've been in my house. Like I don't go anywhere. I don't have friends
Yeah, your
outside of
emotions aren't protected there.
yeah, like I don't have friends outside of internet friends. I just kind of like
Mm.
I exist and coexist within my own space, and so being back in a few days was a lot for me to kind of be able to take
I see.
and feel. So yeah, we're gonna get into all of that in a little bit. We definitely want to get these messages out. Shout out to everybody in the room. Let's see what you guys are saying out here in these stereo streets.
Peace and love, Nitty Gritty. Peace and love, Vinnie Blanco.
What's
Baggage
up?
check. What it do? What the business is? Rashad
Yes.
Radio up in here.
Hey, what's
He
up?
sounds like he's waking up too.
Everybody's saying it's a Monday though.
Right?
You
And
know how
I'm
that.
off today. I'm off
Mm-hmm.
today. Anyway.
It's so wonderful to have Mondays off.
I agree.
Monday's a
In fact, it's
shitty
wonderful to
day.
have all the days off, you know?
Yeah, but for those who are not granted that luxury.
Most of us.
Right. Exactly. Let's see what else is out here in these series.
Baggage check. What kind of baggage are you trying to check? Are you guys trying to check baggage in right now? I got some baggage for you. You want to see?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know
if I
how
want
that
to
sounds.
see.
Right.
I'm not
Don't
sure if I want to
know
see,
what
Vinny.
you are advertising over here, sir. We're talking about emotional baggage.
Mm-hmm.
So, those
All
you can
other baggage you can put somewhere else in a storage facility or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a strictly, no carry-on air,
Mm-hmm.
what is it called?
There's no weight limit for your baggage. But
Yeah, you can only check in your baggage here. You cannot carry.
only
We don't have
that kind of baggage.
Don't even carry on your emotional baggage with you, because bitch, I don't want to deal with this
Right?
shit. No, this airline is a no carry on airline. You know what I'm saying?
I like
How much you
that.
are. Check all your baggage at the door
Yeah, there are no overhead compartments.
at all, or any
Check
compartments
your
for that.
baggage.
But thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Let's see what else is out here.
I think the solution for trust issues is narcissism. Okay, hear me out. Okay, first of all, I won't get in a relationship with somebody unless I fully think that they would never cheat on me. But also, I love myself so much, and I think of myself as the baddest motherfucking bitch in the building so much that I'm just like, you want to cheat? I wish you would. I wish you would. I really wish you would. Please, please fuck this up. Ruin your life. Do it. I'll buy you a box of tissues as a consolation. Fuck this up. It's going to be on you. You're going to regret it. Please. Ooh, somebody, please cheat on me.
I like her. Brittany.
Wow.
Brittany Baker. I fucks with you, girl. Bitch, you gave me life with that. Ooh.
Although I would say I don't know about it being narcissism. I think she's, you get a little, you have a little fun,
right?
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah. Just for the children in the room, which is me included.
Oh yeah.
Clarification.
All of the inner children in the room, for sure. We had
right, exactly. But yeah, thank you, Brittany.
Yeah, that I needed that. That perked me up. I was like, oop, oop, oop.
Yeah, man, that was better than coffee right there.
I needed that.
Please cheat on me. It's like, damn.
I don't know if I see now. When it comes to
I wouldn't say that.
I was never going to put those words out into the. I'm all about my manifestation. Girl, I'm not manifesting that my man cheat on me, girl. It's not happening.
No.
But I get the energy in which you're presenting to the table. Like, listen, you messed this up. It's gonna be on you. This is the best thing you ever had. I could put money on it. And I'm willing to, stand by that by any means. So I fucks with that energy, girl. I really do that. Because I'm definitely in the same space. I'm very much like, I've given out some of the best out there is to date, and that's just on period. So, the fact that nobody who I've dealt with is not around, I know that that's just a testament to, in areas in their lives where they are lacking, and it was also a testament to how I was so eager to wanting to love other people over loving myself first, and that was a problem as well. So I'm glad I've had this time to be single to kind of get that fixed, because you can't put love that you have for people over the love you have for yourself, because you came in this world by yourself and you're going out the same exact way. But yeah, last message of the queue, and we're going to continue with our conversation.
It's off topic, but I just followed you on Instagram, and I saw the picture of your nephew was the first thing I saw.
Oh.
My ovaries are on fire.
He is the cutest little thing, and I have not seen him in a little bit. He's been in Florida with his mommy and his brother to visit their grandmother and everything. But I'll probably go probably within the next week or so for my birthday. So. But yeah, he's
cool.
So cute.
That's right. It's after mine.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, When does trust comes into play, guys? It is our topic for tonight's episode of Baggage Check. If you know somebody who's on stereo, make sure that you are sharing this live all over your social media feeds. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. We appreciate all of the love. But you're also dropping those messages. We want to hear from you guys. Where do you think that trust comes into play? Also, make sure that you are clapping up on the bottom left side of the screen. Let us know that you are hearing, that you are here, listening to this conversation, that you are following the dialogue. So that way, if you have any questions you've dropped a message for, we know that you're here, you're active, and that we can address you head on.
Mhm.
Are you like me in this kind of situation? Are you the type of person, or have you been the type of person who trusts people off the bat until they've given you a reason not to? And how has that worked for you moving forward? Because I
Right.
feel like you can be that way under certain circumstances. Like you can be trusting of people at first, and give them leeway to fuck you over when you are living it like where I came from. Like if you live in the burbs where
Mhm.
everything is super, filtered and not as easy to access, you need a car to get fucking where, you know what I'm saying? Your
Mhm.
neighbors know all your business. You drive down the neighborhood, everybody waves to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like
I do.
when you come from
Mhm.
those type of very like secure and protect, and that's not to say that shit doesn't go down in the suburbs, but it's just to say that when you have a sense of community, I feel like you can be that way because everybody
See, now
for
it's
the most.
really interesting that you bring that up, though. It really is because how does trust build in a community?
Right. Yeah.
And often you were saying, like when we talk about you can open yourself up to trusting someone in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, my because we'll give people the benefit of the doubt. It's what a decent person would do, right? The golden rule: expect, you treat people the way you would like to be treated. So we got into the world and we try to give people the leeway, a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But that is not the same thing as trust.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of why that's a
That's
huge
so
distinction that we
impactful.
have to
Yeah.
keep in mind.
That's a huge. Oh my God! You just gave me chills. That's a huge revelation you just made. Trust and benefit of the doubt are two completely separate, different concepts.
Right. Or if if someone's on, say, like the equivalent of a probation, right? Like you're in the beginning of a friendship or a relationship or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is,
Mm-hmm.
and someone does something that's a red flag or they lie or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. Now, I'm not saying that any of those things are bad, but pay attention. But we ignore those
Yeah.
things. I'm
And then you also have
probably
to pay attention
overthinking
to.
it,
Yeah. And then
you
if you
know?
also do catch people in a lie when they're first building relationships with you, you have to
Mm-hmm.
first analyze what the lie is about,
Yep.
um, and then also get information on why the lie was given in the first place. Because sometimes I have learned that although lying is never like the option for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand that people are always in the business of protecting themselves first, and so them giving you a blanket
Privacy.
statement be adjacent to the truth is more so them protecting themselves from having to deal with someone else outside of their experience having to know that information.
Sure.
Because that sometimes can be more damaging than
Mm-hmm.
keeping it.
The
So,
optics of reputation for sure.
mhm, yeah, learned that the hard
Mm-hmm.
way. Everyone's not just willing to open up their lives and be candid about every fucking thing like myself. So,
Well,
and
I
that
always,
has got me into trouble too.
innocent until proven guilty was drilled into my head for my entire life too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like to challenge that one a little bit. When it comes to whether or not you can or cannot trust anyone when you're first meeting, there is no innocent. You simply don't know.
yeah,
You can't place the trustworthy or untrustworthy label on someone you don't know because you're gambling.
right,
You're hoping, right?
yeah,
I'm guilty too. Projecting. Can I trust you? I want to tell you something, but you've got to promise me. Think of those things we say. None of that
yeah,
actually suddenly puts trust there. We're trying to make it there. We're trying to every once in a while to artificial it into a relationship or into a situation in the last minute to cover our ass. Trust takes time.
it does. And also trust requires consistency.
Yes. See, if
You know.
this is a good example. See, you and I are gonna go have coffee, Vinny, right? Okay. I tell you I'm gonna pick you up at 5. I don't
Right.
show up at 5. I show up at 5:20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even assuming you're still waiting for me to pick you up at that point, you're a little
Right.
upset, but I showed up. Now, that's just our first time. Now, hey, Vinny, let's get coffee again. What's the first thing you think?
You gonna be late?
Right. That's how
Mm-hmm.
fast trust is broken. That's
Yeah.
how fast it can be worn away like waves on a beach. And people are desperately trying to say it. Trust me, I'm being honest here. Can I be totally transparent here? These phrases we're using. You know what I
You sound
mean?
like you sound like you targeted somebody. Let me
No, no,
find
no.
out you go.
No, I
I'm
talk about this.
teasing.
I've done it too.
Okay.
I finally came to sort of that realization, it's like, we've gotten really loose with it. And we think we can somehow like magic it there with a certain combination of words or social pressures.
That's why
An
I just don't even.
untrustworthy person. Whew.
I think it's just so much. I think it's like people are so concerned with trying to at least make things seem super honest and heartfelt. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that they're like people get so concerned with the packaging of delivery rather than the message or the product itself.
Right.
And I've gotten many gifts on many occasions that were, packaged to the gift wrapping was excellent. And
Spectacular
by the time
packaging. Yeah.
I got finished with the fucking wrapping, I said, bitch, you might as well just have bought, you could have bought the entire gift wrap paper with the bows and the ribbons and just gave that to me instead of this bullshit that was in this box. Girl, I don't know who you thought this was for, but take it back. We do not want it. Return to sender. But yeah, I just I think it's so important that people will understand that like if you have good intentions and you're around people who know you, then your good intentions will always show up, and they'll always understand where the place that you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's really important that we're just focusing on our intention rather than the packaging, because sometimes when you honest with people, sometimes your honesty has to hit people a certain way for them to understand where you're coming from, and that's just real shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sometimes everything can be packaged nicely for the people to feel exactly what you're saying, or people to see themselves in a different light. Because when things are cute and cuddly and soft, it bounces off people.
See, but then that brings us to the other thing. Why is it so often that in today's society, honesty is considered rude?
Right.
Can I be honest for a minute? Why are we asking? Isn't that what we want?
Right.
We have gotten so used to
Do
living in this cloudy half-truth kind of societal thing where we're honest when we can be safely, but for the rest of the time we're either liars or we're quiet or we don't go there.
right.
But we're in a country full of that's supposed to be about freedom of speech. A lot of us, me too, are afraid to friggin' be honest most
Right.
of the time.
Exactly.
Not anymore. I mean, I'm not now, but like, you get what I mean? It's so much of us are having a hard time really owning that, and we shouldn't be having a hard time owning that.
I
But
think it's honestly because like we're so hard. We're
growing
so.
pains.
I think it's more so we're so afraid to be honest with ourselves a lot of times, and so
Yes,
damn sure
yes.
don't know how to be honest with other people. And so we
Hmm.
ask them for permission because we honestly don't want them to be honest with us.
I'm sorry, no, we honestly don't want them to be honest with us.
We
Honestly,
honestly don't want them to be honest
honestly,
with us. We
I
want people
feel
to co-sign and back us up and encourage our
you.
behavior, even when they aren't healthy.
Without doing the work
Yeah.
that builds trust.
And then
I
we want to
meet
play
you for coffee
victim.
at the same time every day or once a week for a year. I'm dependable, but that takes time.
Exactly. And then we want to
Can't
play
rush
victim
it.
when shit don't happen the way that we wanted it to happen. Like,
Right.
or when we hear something that wasn't,
Hmm.
in line with what we expected. It's just one of those things. So I think that people like it's
Yes.
something we have to be painfully aware of moving forward. for sure.
For me, I would say that it is one of the top expectations that is extraordinarily dangerous for your mental health. Do not expect trust from people who haven't earned it.
Don't expect anything from anybody.
Well,
You know.
you can expect something from me. You and I have an established relationship. You know what I mean? You can be disappointed if I don't live up to those expectations, but we're friends. So if it's like, hey, I'm going to start, like this show, for example, is a great example. If we're going to start something, do I show up and do it or don't I? Things like that. That stuff is what
Right.
builds trust, and our relationship gets stronger and stronger, and more and more that you can depend. I mean, it sounds weird to talk about this in like this kind of simple ABC way, but we have gotten away from remembering that that's exactly how trust is built, that way.
Right. Yeah. That's
Write
true.
that down. The other ways are us trying to find hacks around doing the work, taking the time to build a relationship healthy. So
that's very true. That's absolutely
unless you're looking
very.
for a quickie, and it's none of my business.
Oh my God!
I'm
Not a
just saying, I ain't
quickie.
trying to judge. People can
Who's
be
trying?
there.
Who's like? Listen, that quickie shit is out of the. Listen, throw that quickie shit out of the window, please. This whole, I know, I get instant gratification and everything, but like the line has to be
Right?
drawn somewhere. Like the line has to be drawn somewhere, sweetie. Like it's no reason. Like Jordan, I don't know if Jordan, you in the building right now, but that 7 minutes philosophy thing that you got going on, absolutely trash. Throw it in the trash.
Right.
7 minutes. I'm not even finished brushing my teeth in 7 minutes.
And yeah, that's the other funny part. It's like, good for you, just good for you.
Right.
But when you automatically think that you're winning with those strategies, it's like you're winning for you, which is fine. So
Right.
often we come out and I want to impress. I'm doing this. It's like, if I'm happy, why do I need to impress you?
Exactly. Because happiness is not real happiness until other people can see that we're happy.
Right. And without trying to get too far off topic, it's still the same kind of idea of where we got into with trust. We're starting to we've taken the substance out of some of our biggest things, and we're trying to reformat. And I'm all for that, right? We're trying to update with a lot of things, with social justice and Me Too and 100 other things that are super, super important. We're in transition and we're adjusting. But if we're not able to figure out how to actually build proper trust with each other as a group, as a social society, that's why I worry. Because, that's how we work together. Just enough trust. It's not like we have to be, soulmate level trust.
Right.
But just enough trust that I know you're going to do what you say you're going to do when you do it, when you say it.
Yeah,
I think we'd all be grateful for that.
Consistency. It is important. We're going to get through some of you guys' messages. Thank you guys so much for hanging out this evening. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say. Shout out to how in the building. Make sure if you guys are not already following my friend here, Mr. Chris Gritti, make sure you are also doing that. That way you guys get
everybody.
Goes live. We're so happy to be amongst you all. Let's see what you guys saying.
Good afternoon. Hello, Nitti Gritti, and hello, Vinnie Blanco. Hope you two are having a fabulous day. I am sitting here waiting for a friend, so I'm gonna check in for a bit because you know what? I got nothing better to do. Also, the title reads, "How does trust come into play?" I don't trust anything anymore. I have a lot of trust issues, unfortunately. But you have to earn my trust now before I give it freely. I used to give it freely. I used to just hand it out like it was candy, and now I am very selective with who I trust.
Experience, wisdom. Right? I used to. Now I don't.
Yeah.
So for those of you people listening, or you, Vinny, or me too, if you have trust issues, who's going to take care of those?
Well, you have to take care of your trust issues.
Right, but doesn't that sound... Just stay with me for a sec there, Vin. How does that explain that? If you can. And I'm not attacking you, but trust issues. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You have trouble trusting?
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
guess so. Yeah. Or
Or
no,
could it
or you just
mean
have, or it's really, you have poor judgment skills on who you decide to give your trust to. I think
See,
that
I
that's
think
really what
it people when we say we have trust issues, we've gotten all the way to the point where we're literally announcing we're afraid to trust.
yeah. But you have to unpack why that is, though. I mean, I never
Yes,
want,
yes,
I never
yes,
want to.
absolutely.
What I try never ever to do, no matter what happens to me or what people have done to me, is I never try to fall into the victim category, because you're only a victim, honestly,
Bingo.
with at the time of the incident. You know, at the time of
Yes.
the indiscretion that's been committed against you, that is the moment. That's the only moment in life and in history, and in time, where you are the victim. But every moment following that particular predicament is a choice.
Yeah, that's
You
when
know,
you pick up the baggage, right? That's the moment for
yeah,
something like that where you're picking up baggage that you don't need to.
yeah,
You can leave
exactly.
it there.
When you
Don't
live
forget
within,
it, but don't
yeah,
carry it.
when you live within, when you decide to live within the after tremor effects of that particular incident, is when you decided, when you have taken on the responsibility of being a victim. And so what I try not
Hmm.
to do is I try not to ever, in situations, try to play the victim card, but also ask myself, okay, so how did I get myself in this situation? Because clearly these people just did not turn into evil people overnight. You know, it's not like I was doing any like hallucinogens, and bitch, I thought that they were like, the people from the Smurfs movie, and then like I turned around and it was like, the Conjuring, bitch. Like, it just, the life does not work out that way. So what
Nope.
signs did I miss out on? What are things I didn't pay attention to enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it about this situation that I just did not pay enough attention to that caused me to end up in this predicament? And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I realized that, oh my God, yeah, these people had been shiesty from the jump, or I always felt like something was off, or my intuition was giving me a premonition that I ignored. A lot of times, that's what
Mm-hmm.
it was. Just to be,
Because you want, right?
yeah,
How often do we risk being betrayed because we want something?
yeah,
Or maybe we want to be with someone. You know what I mean? Not to demean anything, because I mean, I'm guilty here too. I'm trying to just keep it simple, not cold.
right,
um, usually that desire, but then again, once we talk about the desire to want to trust somebody, that and the empathy that you talk about, it brings me into that thinking the same kind of stuff about empaths, or people who could be classified as codependent, like that whole side of the people who are, or the listener side.
mm-hmm.
Um, though that one's even harder too, because of the empathy, because you can feel that somebody else wants you to trust them,
Yeah,
and maybe they haven't been trusted, or they have trust issues. You see how it starts to get murky real fast?
yeah, for
It's
sure,
like these things need to be having, like, you just have to have a conversation about that.
absolutely,
um but my thing is, with like those of us who are on the extreme side of being like, I used to be a doormat and a pushover and things like that, it's so hard to say no to someone, or to disconnect from someone when they break that trust, because you've already attached to them. So I think the
yeah.
important thing to do is to avoid allowing that attachment as much as you can. But that's hard. It takes training. It's like meditation. It's a habit. But because we care, we attach. I don't like to use attach because it sounds like creepy or weird. It's not. Like, we emotionally bond very easily.
But what I have learned is that, over time, with the implication of therapy and
Mm-hmm.
learning to love yourself, um that bond, like, making those bonds become a lot more complex than they originally were when you first started out. You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
don't
you're not
nearly,
as desperate.
yeah, that's exactly where I'm coming from. Like, I don't nearly as a, as this vibrant, colorful, larger than life personality that I've always been in my life experience, I find myself not even like trying to create, like I used to be a sucker for trying to create moments and memories with people, and it's just like now I'm just like, bitch, I'm
Yeah.
a prize. I don't have time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm so much more protective of my time, my energy, my space, and those who occupy those things from me as well.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's a testament to where you are in your emotional intelligence and maturity, and you also your love of who you are, um, based off of how open you are, or how needy you are as far as like your connection with people. Like if it's like super numero uno for you to always like need friends to talk to, or to have to consult you, or to weigh in on their opinion, or to validate you, or any of those things, like that's a surefire sign of somebody who literally lacks a certain amount of self-love. Because why should it matter to you that much? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
And the whole that whole point of bringing that up, where when we land on the term self-love, self-care, when you start to do that, and I'm sure you can testify, Vinnie. You can testify to this. Like once you start
Test.
that really strange sort of desperation that is within us, that'll allow us to extend fake trust over a boundary because we want it, and we ignore it, and then we connect. We
Yeah.
force those faster connections. Like, but once you start to cultivate self-love, you enjoy your private time.
Yeah.
You're not lonely when you're alone. And
Yeah.
that is so important towards your mental health, because loneliness is totally human. But when that loneliness is allowed to sit there and grow and fester, and we become chronically lonely, then we start letting all sorts of other people into our lives because of the desperation. It's like math walking down the line, you know? It's almost
Yeah.
exclusively how it works for so many of us. So it's like
For sure.
the clear solution is to work on you. Make you stronger and smarter and faster and more able to spot bullshit and avoid
Yeah.
it if can, or cope with it faster if you must go through it. Life isn't easy. It's not like you're going to avoid everything. People are going to betray you. There are assholes out there. Nothing you can do
Right.
except make yourself more resilient against them. And that goes into learning how to build proper trust as like a foundational part of self-love. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. In addition to that, I also want to add, when you're getting your shit together, it does get lonely.
True. Yeah.
But know that when you are getting your shit, you're choosing your growth over company. And so sometimes it's important that you do isolate and separate. It's the healthiest thing you possibly can do at times. It's something I always struggle with, because I really thrive for connectivity. You know,
Well,
I
and it's,
love people.
you said it too. You said it right in the phrase. Like struggle is growth.
Right. Yeah.
So to run away from struggle is quite often running away from growth.
Sure. Absolutely. Let's get some of these messages out. We see you guys are in here in the comment section. We love you
Absolutely.
guys. Make sure you'll continue to drop messages. Want to hear from you. Make sure you're also sharing this live all over your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Snapchat. We appreciate the love. And also make sure you're tapping it up, clap it up on the bottom left side of the screen. Let us know that you were here following this conversation. And let's get back to these messages.
I think the whole honesty being considered rude thing. Can anybody even hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh man, that statement. Can I just be honest for a second? I hate it. I honestly do. Like, that statement alone. Why can't you just be honest all the time? Like, I am. I don't hate lying. It irks me. I hate it so much. Like, I'm so blunt with people and so transparent, you would say. Ugh. But like, I tell people up front, it's like, this is who I am. Take me or leave me. If you don't like it, oh well.
And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Nitty Gritty with the vocals this evening.
I don't know who put a quarter in me. I'm sorry, Vinny. I finally got some good sleep, so I do somewhat apologize to everyone. I hope you're enjoying this
What do you
the
apologize
craziness.
for?
You're right. You're right. What am I doing? What am I doing?
The fuck are you doing?
I don't know, Vinny. Sometimes, you know. Thank you.
You should be comfortable. You're fine.
See, Vinny, that's
You
why I
know, if
love
you
you.
wasn't
You're
fine,
able
I
to
would have
just
told
you're able to
you.
just bring it right back. Hey, what are you doing? Just come on over here. You know, boom.
You already know I'm not the one to mix my words. I'm always like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? What is going
I
on?
love it. I love it. I love it.
Let's finish my messages. Shout out to
Let's
everybody
do
in
it.
the room. We appreciate you.
I think part of the whole, like, not being able to be honest and it being considered rude is, well, it's a counter reaction to the completely toxic environment, especially the internet, but society in general took a turn for the last 10 years, 20 approximately. So now we're swinging into this toxic positivity bullshit range instead.
It's so funny that you
Toxic
said
positivity.
I talked about this was a subject that this is a subject that Anna Tools talks about regularly, and we'll probably cover that a little bit on Friday's episode when we talk about imposter syndrome. But yeah, toxic positivity is a real thing. We talked about that on my morning show, I think the week before last. And so yeah, I totally get you and I feel you on that. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My brain is malfunctioning. Maybe
Toxic positivity, you were saying.
Yeah.
Toxic positivity.
It is a real
It's a funny word.
It is.
Or it's not, yeah, I agree. Keep going. It is a funny thing. It's just what an interesting, it's almost an oxymoron in itself, you know?
Well, yeah, well, a lot of us living in this world are oxymorons, to be honest with you. No pun intended.
I'm a moron, at least.
Yeah. Our whole life existence is an oxymoron.
Right.
You know.
True,
like beautiful
oxymoronic
ugly,
existence.
You know, perfectly imperfect. Like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, bitch, what are we doing?
I'm sorry.
What's going on?
I'm just like, bitch, what are you doing?
I
have laughed so many times when I've seen that. It's like, oh, that's sweet, but no.
Right. Like, what the fuck are we doing? If this ain't the biggest gaslighting bullshit I ever heard.
Right? Everyone is so confused. You know, and we definitely, I'd like to put, like, I'll put my vote in for, like, next week. We should talk about gaslighting again, because I wanted to get into, like, that goes all the way up to our societal level. Like, what is propaganda but cultural gaslighting? What is marketing but gaslighting?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, when we finally are starting to understand what it is about sort of explaining to somebody else what reality really is. This product is better than this product. Is it?
Right. Yeah.
100 people say so. Oh, I guess I'm going to agree with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe not. It's all maybes. It's all ifs. It's all enticements. It's all gaslighting people, almost all of it. Except on the individual level, when we're trying to, you know what I mean? And you get really dangerous into, like, trying to blame it all too, because that would mean that also, like, political activism, if you're going to give a speech or have a march, you know what I mean? It's also a strange form of gaslighting. We think this is the way reality is supposed to be, and you don't. So we're making a big noise to try to make our point, to see if you're going to agree that we can change, because we as humans, we're the ones who are choosing right or wrong, good or bad. We're choosing.
Exactly.
We're here on this planet making it all up. At least. I don't know what anything else, but that for sure is happening.
Absolutely.
So again, let's talk about gaslighting and all that fun stuff next week, if that sounds good to you.
We'll definitely we'll pick up on gaslighting next week. We talked a little bit about gaslighting on the Roll Call Morning Show. Like I said, I had a whole week.
You had a whole thing.
I was dealing with a particular somebody for a second. Who just happened to have my toxic 3. I really want to talk about that concept of having a toxic 3. I think that people end up usually liking a certain type of person. And when people really break down, you know, their love life, they really can come down to at least 3 things that all of the people that they've dated have in common, in one way, shape, or form. And so I just happened to meet a guy who just happened to have my toxic 3 traits, and I was trying, and it's so crazy. And shout out to Thotty Scotty and a
Oh,
man
is
like
he
us.
stopping by? What's up?
No, they're live right now. But shout out to Thotty Scotty and man like
Always.
us, who are doing the Man Like Thotty show. Make sure that y'all go ahead and tell them that Vinnie Blanco said what's up if y'all want to stop by. Hopefully you stay with us throughout the end of our show. But they told me, it's so crazy. I showed them a picture because I consider Man Like Us and Thotty Scotty like little brothers I never asked for, but I got anyways. Thanks to apps like Clubhouse that have allowed us to kind of like be able to be in connection with each other outside of just stereo. And so, I showed them the picture of the guy I'm talking to right now. And one of the first things they said, which stuck with me, and now looking back on it, a couple weeks later, I'm just like, oh wait, like they were able to spot something that I was able to spot at that particular point in time. Because just when I was dating, is a little older than not just a little. Like he's significant, not like super significant, but he's an extensive amount of years older than I am.
I see.
Yeah.
Vinny.
But he still carries himself in the manner of somebody who would either be my age or younger. And so one of the first things that Man Like S and Thotty Scotty said was that this guy is way too old for him to be acting so young and taking pictures like this, like he's 18, 19, 20 years old. And in the disillusion of our involvement with each other, I literally had an aha moment. I was like, oh my God, they were right.
Yeah. But you ignored it. Why?
Because I wanted it to work.
You wanted it.
Yeah.
Be careful how much you want things, people.
Clearly I didn't want it that much, because it got to a point where it was just like, oh no. See, it just got from toxic. It just went from, okay, cute. Like I feel like there's a certain level of toxicities that people kind of like go through until they reach a point where just like, okay, girl, this is a point of no return. Like there's like the cute toxic, which is really, really not healthy. But like there's still like there's a level of toxicity that's like, oh wow, like a little bit of a challenge. I like that type of toxicity. You know what I mean? Like,
well, interesting. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to ignore the fact that toxic can be very sexy.
Yeah,
we must say that. We must say that. It's as
like
much as we're all healthy here, it's the truth.
Yeah. No, absolutely. People like that challenge concept. Like,
it's exciting.
Oh, wow. Like, like, oh, this is a little bit of a problem area for me. And yeah, like long haul, like this might be a little bit of agitation, but I like a bit of a challenge. Let's see where we can go with this.
Yes.
Maybe I can train them to get over it, or I can teach
help
them.
Maybe I can help them. That's what we always tell ourselves.
Right. And then we have like, like
we don't ask them.
And then like there's other tiers that get progressively worse following that. But I feel like we only get to the like people usually end up in those further stages of toxicity when they entertain that attractive toxicity first.
Yeah. And they make enabling statements.
Yeah. And I think that we all have to kind of get into the habit and the rhythm of calling out the problems that we see firsthand, and then making decisions that's in our best interest and the people that we're dealing with too, because it's not that they're bad people. Like, some people have issues, doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them human.
Yeah.
But after you've addressed it and you've given them space and time to be able to correct their own actions, then you make the decision on what to do moving forward in the best interest of you both. That's something that people are really doing that a lot. But I said that all to say, like, I was just piggybacking off what you were saying. Like, sometimes, a lot of times, we want to make things out for what we want them to be and not for really what they are. And so I was just in denial of the fact that I was dealing with somebody who was acting significantly younger than I was. And it wasn't until I finished dealing with him, because he released a post in his stories on social media, like I said, like with the subliminal message, which I knew was that was connected to me, because he does not text me, he does not call me, but he follows me on Instagram and he follows me on Facebook.
Is it positive messaging, or is it not positive messaging that he's sending you on that, like you're saying, through?
He's not even messaging. He's just watching my shit.
That's what I mean. Is it passive aggressive, the comments or whatever it is that you were saying he's make, like, you know what I mean, stuff that you were
Oh, the messages? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're like leading. Like he posted a post where it was just like, him, how do you know this guy? And then hit me in response, oh, him, your inconsistency introduced us. And I was just like, oh, that was the subliminal. I was just like, but like, a
little jab, passive aggressive like, jabs, man.
But you're 44.
And the expectation there is what? And I'm not arguing with you, but just so you can see it. What's the expectation when you say
no,
you're
I get
44?
it. I totally get like having the expectation in the age. What I'm saying is that you're 44 and you've been playing this game of social media for 44 years. Like you've been dealing with you have exactly where I'm coming from. Like in these 44, in this big old age of 44, you have not learned anything at this particular point. And you want to play a little boy game
worthwhile
of doing subliminals on social media? Are we serious at 44?
Hey, buddy, some people die never figuring it out.
I could never subject myself to that type of lifestyle.
It was a truth I had to come to terms with being a mental health coach. You know what I mean? Of course, the little boy, Chris, who is idealistic, wants to do my best to help every single person I come in contact with to find a better, to believe in themselves more, to cultivate self-love, to let go of their pain. I wish I could do that, magically, but that's a childish, idealistic dream. We live in the real world that's very complicated, and even just my personality is not for everybody, which means as a mental health coach, I'm not going to be well fit for everyone. That's absolutely impossible. So, you know what I mean? It's okay if they don't fit. Don't try to make them fit. Move on.
Which is why I'm always stressing people to go. Like people always want to shut down. And I'm going to get to you guys' messages in a second. Thank you guys for
hello, people.
We appreciate you all. But I wanted to make this statement before we move on.
I'm so happy to be back on stereo. Keep going.
Absolutely. And especially with this show, I feel like this is like one of my happier moments. Like, although we have like really deep conversation, like it's always like in a light way. Like it's good to have a mental health conversation and not always be like super depressing and daunting.
Yes, I know, because that's why we avoid it. That's why people don't want to talk about it. It's always a bummer. It's like, it doesn't have to be though. Let's talk about solutions.
It doesn't. I think we have to normalize healthy conversations about mental health, and sometimes it can be in a lighthearted, upbeat. Like, I'm going through shit, but I mean that's life. Like, what we're gonna do about it? Like, so let's celebrate the fact that we're still here, because there are people who I wish who could still be. And enjoy.
Speaking of which, a friend of mine just got the vid, but he's already recovering. So,
but I'm glad to hear that.
My first example of, like, for me personally, my first real life example of someone that close that tested positive and went through it. So, but he's in Philadelphia, so metaphorically close, like emotionally close. Not.
That's where I'm in. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Philly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that, but you're not in Philly now. That's why. Yeah.
I'm in Jersey, but I'm right next door to Philadelphia.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have a talk about that.
Yeah. Let's get to these messages, you guys. I completely lost my train of thought. We have this happens sometimes. We appreciate you all. Let's see what you guys are saying out here in these serious streets.
Expect nothing. Trust nothing and no one, and expect nothing from anybody, because the only person who really got your back at the end of the day is yourself. And if you don't have your back at the end of the day, who else is going to? Honestly.
That's very true.
Okay, well, that's true, and there is truth to actual healthy relationships and how amazing it feels to be part of a group where there are people that you can depend on to have your back. You know what I mean? It is possible. We just, I really think as a society sort of, no, well, like, you know what I mean? Like she was saying, at the very end of the day, the only person you can depend on is you. That's not necessarily true. If you get your shit together enough and find others, you do have a team. Like, it is possible to depend on other people. There are trustworthy people out there. It's
Right.
just harder for us to find each other or even find our own selves because, we're all so twisted up in our own crap.
Very true.
So it's like, I agree with her fundamentally, especially like at this moment in time in life, even for me, like that's where I'm at too. But I want to believe that I can get to a point where I can have a circle, not a lot. I'm not asking, you know what I mean? That a core people where it's like, if this shit goes down, I'm not alone. You know what I mean? And that gives you the means and the power as a group to be able to affect change and do something, nothing crazy drastic, you know what I mean? But like, get shit done.
Yeah,
Build
absolutely.
projects together, like communities, and go out. You get what I mean. I'm going to be tangenting off here, but yeah.
No, you're good. I love that. Let's keep it rolling with these messages.
I have to learn to trust myself and my judgment based on other people. That's how I explain it. I have to take care of myself and love myself and not care about what other people are doing. I have to fix them.
It's not your job to. Like, it's not your job to fix anybody.
Well, and more to the point, you can't.
Yeah. But
this
even
is
if
the
you
one
could,
truth that people argue with me all the time. You can't.
But even if you could, though, like, because there are some people who like.
There's a reason you can't.
Who have teachable spirits, and so if you teach them how to move, they'll adapt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that people cannot be taught, or people can't be fixed, or people can't be set on the right path. I've seen it happen. A multitude of times, because sometimes people are honestly just looking for leadership. People are just honestly looking for people to be able to kind of like
if they're looking, yes, 100%.
Yeah. But it's not your job to fill that role, and I want people to understand that. And as people who are sensitive to other people's emotions and feelings, and because I'm trying not to use the word empath. I feel like empath is such a trendy word right now, and I think that
you and I can talk a lot about that, because I have a whole very distinctly different perspective on all of that I've still yet to share. And I'd love to get into it another time, but
I'm trying not to overuse I love the word. It's a word that I just started using within the last year or some change, because of my experience within mental health.
Yes,
and
of course.
at the mental health facility. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to confuse myself or get myself kind of pigeonholed with the rest of the people who are, internet therapists, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a whole bunch of Google searching and not enough like actual, training and life experience. Right. And so, and plus I'm not trying to advertise this whole, I'm an empath type of like it's not a lifestyle or brand. It's an actual thing. And so, yeah.
And even if you say it, even if it's true, again, we can even tie it right back into trust, Vinnie. Even if you say it, even if it's true, that doesn't mean I should believe you outright. And that also doesn't mean that I know what you mean when you say that.
Exactly. You guys, want to know from you guys, when does trust come into play? Let us know what you guys think. Because we can definitely have this conversation all day and all night, but this is a dialogue, not a monologue. So we definitely want to hear from you guys. Make sure you're dropping those messages. Make sure you're clapping it up on the bottom left side of the screen. And also make sure you're sharing this live all over your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Snapchat. We appreciate you all for hanging out with us this evening. Let's see who else is up here in the... Oh, we got recent reviews next.
Yo, big up Vinnie, Blanco, and Nitti Gritti. What's going on, people? It's your boy Rishi's Reviews. Just sending you lots of love. Thought I'd chime in and say, what's going on, peeps?
Hey, Rishi.
What up?
I love him.
He's awesome.
He's one of my favorites.
He's awesome.
I really, really want to be there for that episode, because as someone who has a degree in marketing, it absolutely is gaslighting. It absolutely is. No doubt about it.
Boom. Thank you, EMC.
Yeah, I think that'll be next week's episode. Baggage check, are you guilty of gaslighting? So I'll be looking at that now. Because I think a lot of people, if you're not guilty of gaslighting other people, then you damn sure have been guilty of gaslighting yourself.
Right. Or maybe just I want to just talk to help open everyone's eyes to be a little more cognizant of the fact that like it's all over the flipping place.
Right.
Like you are being, there are so many things out in the world trying to tell you the way the world is or what is and what isn't. All of it, just telling you, not always explaining, just telling you. They make it look
Right.
sexy or fast or exploding or exciting or they're powerfully or they seem really like they believe it because they're saying it with so much passion.
Right.
Hold off and think about stuff. Like that's all I'm saying. Use your brain. We have a brain. Let's build it.
For sure. Let's get the rest
Yeah.
of this message out.
Right.
A big thing is a lot of us are literally growing up in an environment where we're not exposed or taught certain, fundamental skills that we need to function as a healthy, fulfilled human. We don't learn how to regulate through emotional or scary or sad or uncomfortable feelings and situations. So we tend to, overcompensate with ways to make that go away. Usually it turns into some sort of coping mechanism, which could be many, many things. But this is happening over and over and over, generation of generation, because of the way society runs the ability to control us through propaganda and limiting our beliefs.
Very well said, Allie. Yeah, thank you. I really like the main point she was making there too, is that like we're not taught, because I think that that's really where, if I was to focus somewhere, I would want, we should be focusing on the schools, as cliche as that sounds. Like emotional balance and critical thinking are extraordinarily important tools that we need as adults.
Absolutely.
And I 100% believe that should be the parent's job. And I'm speaking as a parent myself. However, that's an idealistic standpoint. You know what I mean? If we could zero out and then everyone, because then you'd have to say all the parents need to be learning that themselves, and we have a cycle to break.
Right.
So it's a complicated solution, but I agree, like that, children are our future, but we've got to break the cycle and give them the space to move into that future instead of expect them to break it. You know what I mean? Like that's the hard part. It's like, hey, here's the shit. Hope you can break it, as we pass the baton down the generations. So
right.
Okay, I'm done. I have spoken.
Fine. You are perfectly fine, love. Oh, we got gay optimists in the building.
Whoa. Yeah. I'm not just toxic. I'm radioactive. I'm Tropicana Toxica Radioactive Imagine Dragon circa 2011. Hi, hello, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Vinnie. Hey, Nitty Gritty. We love talking about toxicity. My 2 cents, everyone has red flags, okay? But not everyone is toxic. You know what I mean? Like, we all have red flags, but not every red flag means that somebody is toxic. Does that make sense?
Yes, that absolutely makes sense. I think so many times that we always want to equate someone to having red flags with toxicity, and I think
it just speaks to compatibility.
Yeah, I think the real struggle and the real fight here is honestly not being overly protective, and then not and super judgmental, and then also not being judgmental enough.
Right.
Trying to find really good balance of, okay, when should I, be willing to overlook, or when should I be willing to turn the cheek, and when should I really just, kind of draw the line, and you know what I mean? Like, I think that for me, because I'm always taking to kind of put into account other people's feelings and their take on, I don't want to ever just come off like super, super self-indulged or superior. Because I've been always told, like, that's what people get from me. People are like this high maintenance energy for me. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because I just I take care of, I like the way, I always try to take care of the way that I look. I don't know if that has a lot to do with it, but I've always gotten high maintenance has always been equated with my personality as far as people. And it's not even random people.
Really?
It's people, the close, super high maintenance. And it's just kind of that's not.
Usually that speaks, and I am projecting, but usually that speaks to someone kind of saying that you're you're in need of a lot of attention. Is that true?
I probably
Because if
have
that's not
been.
true, then maybe not. You know what I mean?
I probably have been at times. I'm not gonna lie. Like there
Sure.
definitely a point in time where I probably was needy. Especially
I
within
know
the
I have been.
realm of relationships. Especially when my family and I weren't good, I'm definitely not in that same space anymore. Because, me and my family are good now, and I started my journey to self-love and
yes,
all of that. So like that's cool. But yeah, I don't know if I don't think that high maintenance would be as much equated to my personality. I think more of that comes from me just like always ready. Like I've always been the type of friend who takes forever to get ready for places, dressed up to the nines, and I think high maintenance in the sense of always like having to keep up with appearances and shit like that is really meant.
I suppose. Do you enjoy it though?
What?
That kind of self-care, the maintenance of like taking care, making sure you look. Do you enjoy it?
Sometimes.
Like, are you doing it for you?
Yes, because
Okay, good.
I'll be damned if I see y'all fucked up in these streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind being fucked up at home behind the screen, but I'll be damned if I let you see that outside. No, I'm just playing. I do enjoy taking care of myself. I do. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons before.
Okay.
When you're the most broken, you at least want to make broken. And like I say all the time, like I made broken look like a fashion statement. I really did. Like I wore that shit like it was fresh off the fucking runway. And it worked for a while until it didn't,
Right.
And that's usually how it works. Like you think you have really garnered the ultimate mask of all masks as far as like pulling the shit off until the smallest life experience happens to you, and then you're completely on your ass. And I know that a lot of people in here probably can definitely relate and resonate with the energy. So yeah.
And that's I really like that you said that. That speaks to something that connects to me too. We use the term mask, right? We don't use the term other self.
Yeah.
You put on a mask. A mask has no substance behind it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's so important to keep that in mind, because when we build up our lives, if we're trying to live our lives wearing a mask, there's no foundation behind that mask. It's really unstable. You have to keep a bunch of lies or secrets or whatever it is that you have to do. You have to keep such certain things private while still trying to engage. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's for sure hard.
So
for sure.
Yeah, I don't recommend that as a format, but it's hard for a lot of us because, well, we know it's dangerous. It's dangerous out there to be who you want to be to be who you are. Doesn't mean it's deadly, but it's dangerous.
Maybe not dangerous, but definitely scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're gonna get hurt in the real world, emotionally at the least. You're gonna. It's how fast can you get back up that marks how strong you've become as a human.
Yeah, I think
because so life is just gonna stay like that. You know what I mean? That's a simple fact.
Yeah, that's true. And I honestly think that so many of us get caught up in trying to live a lifestyle where we don't get hurt.
Right, running away from it or finding a place where we won't ever be.
Right. Exactly. Which is counterproductive at the end of the day. So you're setting yourself up for failure.
It's like looking for perfection again.
Exactly. So I hope that all of you guys who are listening who may have had that issue, you stop it because you are self-sabotaging yourself. That's literally self-destructive behavior.
Yeah.
That's literally what that is. But love to everyone in the room. House of Blanco's in the building. Let's see who else is
Big love.
Hey guys, hope you're having a really good show. Just putting it out there, but yeah, I want to be a therapist when I grow up. Yeah. So, mental health topic 101.
Okay, Amber. How old are you? So when you grow up, what? How old are you now, baby? Because
that's what I was wondering too. I'll be like,
I hope it's 18, girl, because they're not playing on this game.
But if you are, in fact, that young and moving towards a life or a profession, mental health, I commend you.
Yes, for
Good
sure.
luck, and it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
one of those things. We get this idea where we have to be locked into something. It's like we really need to shop to find out if you're really looking for fulfillment in life and having, you know what I mean, for the things that you want. If you want to have joy, it's like you shop.
Right,
It's a big world full of a lot of different choices and people and experiences. So many, in fact, that you can't really count.
right, exactly.
And they're a whole spectrum of positive to negative.
Absolutely,
Shop.
absolutely.
So how
When
often
does
people meet their
trust come
I'm
soulmate?
into
sorry.
play?
My bad.
What'd you say?
Oh no, I forgot now. It's okay. Keep going. I want to hear now.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
When does trust come into play? Are you talking about relationships? Well, I don't know. I think you're supposed to be able to trust the person that you're dating or your friend or your family member and anyone for that matter. But these days you can't trust everyone. You just gotta wing it, I guess, or like play it by ear or something.
Gritty. Hello. Oh, he's
Oh, I
muted.
didn't realize I was on mute. My bad. Yeah, I was trying to be polite and then I got excited. But yeah, what she said. Thank you, Mama, by the way, for that message.
Mm.
We say we should be able to trust our friends and our relationships and our family. I always like to put family in its own category because that's the one thing we don't choose. But for all the other ones, you don't expect to trust. We've got that backwards. I think that's really what we're getting to again. It's like you need to build up trust, then choose to make them a person in your life. Like you don't make a friend and then you make a very casual acquaintance. You build trust and they become your friend. You
Right.
meet a casual acquaintance and you build trust and they become your romantic partner or your mental health coach. You always build trust first, then decide if you're going to bring them in. Not bring them in because they're pretty or fun or exciting, and then hope you can make trust happen.
Exactly.
Take more time. Buy slow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my point. But I like that comment.
We
Thank
love it. We love all of that.
No, you're absolutely right. And guess what? I actually have recently been able to do that. I actually have a group of people in my life at this moment that I can absolutely depend on and know whether or not I can trust them. And that's all because I started caring for myself. So yes, you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, I still have to take care of me. I have to, or else I'm gonna go back to those old bad habits.
I have. That was very well said. I can't even. That was bravo. I agree.
Absolutely.
That's great.
100%.
Great. Yep.
What I meant by that, Vinny, was I have to fix my own trust issues, mine. My issues, not theirs, mine. Sorry.
No, that's true. That's true. But is it the fact that you have issues with trust, or do you have issues with the people that you choose to trust? Because I think oftentimes we have a trend in the people that we choose to we choose to put faith in. We choose to invest our time and our energy and our emotions in, and they have let us know amount of time that they were not indeed worthy of those privileges. And so we take a chance against the warning signs, and things play out the way that our intuition had told us it was going to play out from the.
Oh, we're losing you, Vinny.
Our judgment of character. What'd you say, Gritti?
I don't know. You were cutting out for me, at least. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, nothing. I said.
Yeah, that whole thing was
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me
For
now?
me, at least. I don't know if that was. Yeah, I can hear you good now. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
I was just saying that no, I think I said that sometimes I don't think that we have an issue with necessarily with trust. I think it's an issue with the people that we choose to trust. I think that once it becomes a habit I think that there's oftentimes people show you signs that they're not, they're not deserving of those energies.
Right.
And so when you go against the warning signs and you invest that trust into them anyway, and then it fails, that venture fails, we're often left to feel kind of like, oh, now I have an issue with trusting people. And that's not really the case. It's just we have an issue with our judgment of character. And that
Right.
is where
Or we're
the work
growing
needs to be
weary
put
of shopping.
right. And that's
I
really
like
where
to,
the energy needs to now be put in. Like, that's where your focus and your energy needs to be then invested in. Because I think often so many people try to make issues with their judgment of character other things rather than their judgment of character. Like, why am I continuing to pick these people? Why am I continuing to put myself in these situations? Why is it that I'm the common denominator? You know what I mean? Like, even if you're not, and that's not to say that anyone's a bad person. That's just me saying that that's the best way that you can really see growth within yourself.
Right.
When you're
We're
constantly
never talking about good or
challenging
bad.
yourself. Yeah. Challenge yourself and say, why, girl? I've had 5 dudes and all 5 of them gone without a trace, girl. What's going on with me? Like, did the voodoo queen put a hex on me, girl? What is going on? Like, it's your responsibility to find out. It is.
Do the work on yourself.
Absolutely. Messages.
Agree.
Trust starts at the beginning. The beginning.
No. And yes, I guess. I mean, the building of trust starts at the beginning, but no, it's like you can't, that's like saying the cake is done when you put it in the oven.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story once we run down on these.
Kind of start. Yeah. Sounds good.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying I have a funny story after we finish these messages.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I was just saying, like, it's the same concept of like, technically, yes, I am starting to bake a cake once I have put it in the oven, or even once I'm mixing the ingredients. Even once I'm shopping for the ingredients to bake a cake, I am building, my plan and taking action towards manifesting a cake. But the cake's not done till it's done, and trust isn't there until it's there.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of stuff. My point is, there's a lot of stuff that goes into cultivating a relationship to build trust, and then you can feel it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing of like when you desperately want to share something because you've got something inside and you're whatever, and you want to trust someone. So you're like, can I trust you?
Right.
But what does that mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's gambling right there. You're gambling.
For sure.
You want to trust, so you're gambling, but there's no assuredness in that act. It's important we always keep that in mind. Can I trust you? You're making a judgment call on whether or not you can trust their answer in that moment. Are you good enough? Are you going to be sure? Because you're gambling.
Right. And are you okay with gambling?
Right. And it's totally fine.
Are you okay with taking a risk?
Exactly. Be aware of what you're doing. There's no right or wrong here. This is always about like being in control of your actions, fully in function, and knowing that you're making active choices and thinking things through. That's all this is about. Whether or not you do something shady, in my opinion, or opposite, it's not my business, to be honest, unless it involves me.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at it. So.
Whoa. Yeah. But what about chosen family, Nitty Gritty? What about that? What about adoptive family? What about many other types of family units that are not always bio-legal? Over and out.
Accepted and added. Yes, updated. You're absolutely right. I can't argue with that. He's right. He knows he's right too. That's why he did it all sassy.
Yeah, that's why he did it. Exactly.
Well, what about chosen family, Nitty Gritty? Yeah, you got me. All right. Yeah. Love it.
Okay, but the real question is, what's the difference between being trustworthy and dependable, because they're synonyms, but they're not the same word. You know what I mean?
Also, very good point. Very good point. Mm-hmm. Both are built, though. I would say that dependability is built off of trust. What do you think, Vinny? I don't know.
I think dependability is an attribute of trust. I
Is
think
it a
out of
byproduct?
dependability, I think when you're dependable for an extensive amount of time, people can learn how to trust you. You know.
Right. Or it's a kind of trust.
Right.
You can trust them to be dependable. I know that's a thing. So, or is that a double positive?
I think it's a double positive.
Because that's very
That doesn't
common
sound
language
right.
in like in job applications. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just sort of interested. Side note. But yeah,
I can
okay.
trust
So
you to be dependable. That sounds like a mess.
Yeah, well.
It grammatically sounds like a mess.
Right. Right.
Anyone correct me, please. Drag me for filth if I got
Yeah, I'm
fucked up.
curious.
Let us know for sure.
Yeah, help us out.
Oh, there we go. Oops.
There you go. Oh, where'd it go?
Yeah, I mean, trust is tricky, and it's sort of like gotten twisted up in the whole power of words thing, because it's not really like being trustworthy. It's not really something that is inherent in the other person, but rather trust is actually, it comes from your own ability to see the other person like as they are objectively, and learn their actual cues, what you can expect from them, like their reactions in what kind of situations. So it's like the whole trust issues thing, I guess it comes from you being wrong, and then having to deal with the whole thing that, oh, maybe I can't rely on my own judgment as much as I thought I could, and then having to like build up the confidence and the skill all over again that, yes.
There you go.
She went
very well said.
That was very well said. I don't even got nothing to say. Let me just roll the next message.
Yep. Wow. Beautiful.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Yes. All right, we'll get there. Oh,
and that's where the self-care and self-love come to help distinguish that you can trust your gut or your intuition that, hey, this person has a lot of red flags. Maybe I shouldn't put energy into this. That's where I'm coming from. I shouldn't necessarily put energy into things that no longer serve me. And I had been doing that for a while. And then, just getting okay with, hey, trust your gut. And not letting myself psychoanalyze myself, because I do that a lot, but that's mostly because of my BPD. But also therapy. Therapy is also helpful.
There was a lot in there, but yeah, very well said. Absolutely. Thank you, MC.
For sure. Thank you.
Because I've always.
It's not even gambling, I would say, Nitti.
What'd you say? Because you've always what?
I said I'm always happy when people are advocates of, finding therapy. I just always want to make sure people look at finding a therapist much like finding a friend or a relationship, and build trust the same way.
Right.
Because therapists are people. Everybody's people. So you have to treat people like people, regardless of what their profession is. Always bear that in mind. But yeah, find a therapist, because it helps. It really does.
Yes.
So yeah, what was the message we paused? Can we play it again?
Yeah, I'll play it again. Oops.
It's not even gambling, I would say, Nitti. It's more of you asking them, is it okay if I implement my illusion of what I think you are onto you? Can you live up to my illusion? And yeah, I mean, once you put it in those kind of words, you see where the problem is.
Yeah. That's very well said. Yeah, I didn't conceptualize it like that, but yeah, exactly.
She's reading somebody. Somebody messed up today.
She's like, I got something for that ass. We appreciate you, girl.
Mm,
Thank you so much for being here.
beautiful.
Guys, I think
Beautiful
we're gonna play
comment.
the next message, and I think we might have to roll out early this evening. Just because
Okay.
I have a couple of things to do, so we'll probably get out of here at 7:30 rather than 8:00 today.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think dependability is about a stepping stone to actually being trustworthy. So you have to be dependable and show consistency before you can show that, like, hey, this person I know is dependable. I can trust that they can be there, you know? Like, it's a stepping stone. That's how I take it.
Interesting.
There is something to think about. I think we
Mm-hmm.
brought up two really, really good concepts. That when I remember in the beginning of the show that we talked about the difference between benefit of the doubt and trust, and
Right.
now we're talking about dependability versus trustworthiness, and
Mm-hmm.
those are two really, really big and great conversations. I'm glad that we're talking about them here. I'm so glad that you guys are making the connections and also contributing to this conversation. And on second thought, I'm going to commit to 8:00 because that's what my commitment was.
Oh,
Because
Vinny.
what I'm going on is not that
Don't make me
important.
fall
That's
in
it.
love with you, Vinny. Come on now.
Oh, you're not in love with me already? What are you waiting for?
I love it.
Fucking kidding me?
You know you're right. I'm catching up, Vinny. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's about damn time. How long have we been talking to each other now?
This guy.
We're like regular co-hosts at this point.
Well, clearly.
We are. We have a committed day and time that we spend together.
I know.
Like, this is one of the probably healthiest
Every
relationships
Monday.
I have with a man in my life right now.
Wow, thank you. What a great, amazing compliment.
That is like really should be. I know I am.
Well, I appreciate. I'm grateful for you too. I think you are also a very healthy person in my life, Vinny.
Oh, thank you, my love. I appreciate you all. And thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. Let's get back to some of these messages and see what you guys are saying.
Also, special message about therapy. Also, make sure you look into your therapist and find out what fits best for you, because certain people I've gone through 6 therapists. 6. Yeah. Okay? I've gone through 6 therapists because, well, they just told me that I was going to be this way forever and just told me that I was pretty much a shit luck. So I found someone who specialized in what I have. And you know what? They're the best goddamn thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, I'm very happy to hear that, even though that sounds like quite a trial.
She said, fuck you and your bullshit ass, gaslighting ass shit.
Right? Neuroplasticity, people. You can change. Not easy,
for that,
but possible.
Yes. Good for you, AMC. I'm proud of you, girl.
Right? Me too.
Absolutely. Let's get it. Keep it rolling. Oh, wait, before I do this.
Yes.
I meant to say this before and I got sidetracked because you already know how it gets down.
Yeah, the story, right? There was a funny story you were going to tell me.
It's important. Oh, shit. I forgot my story, y'all. My brain is scrambled. I had a rough weekend. What?
It's all right.
Oh, I was just saying that it's important to find a therapist or counselor or whatever you're looking for under the guise of mental health, who you identify with and who can also identify with you, you know. So if you are a person of color, it might benefit you from having a therapist who's also a person of color. That way, when you talk about certain experiences specifically targeted and connected to the person of color's experience within this world that we live in, you're talking to somebody who understands the struggle and they can relate to you on such a deeper level, not just on a patient-client basis, but also on some real shit, man-to-man, woman-to-woman, man-to-woman, whatever type shit that you need. If you are part of the LGBTQIA community, like myself, make sure that you have a therapist who's also a part of the community, you know what I'm saying, who can understand the struggles that men, our brothers and sisters within the community face on a regular day-to-day basis. We do have minuscule representation as far as those roles are concerned,
but that does not mean that they're not available at all. And also, I do want to give it a quick plug, and I don't mean to take up too much time from anybody, but there is an app called Pride Counseling. So for all of my LGBTQIA plus people out here, there is an app specifically geared for people within our community to receive counseling online. There's an app that you guys can download either from the App Store or the Android Google Play Store. It's called Pride Counseling, and they'll match you up with the best options that they have for you guys. I think they have you take a test as far as like matching your compatibility to people who are already working for the service. So that's just my little donation today.
And I got to speak that you're absolutely right. I can't even like counter any of that, because I don't fit into necessarily any of those categories as a mental health coach. But I, in fact, have my clients because I have had my experience with narcissism and toxic relationship abuse. And that experience is what my clients value, because they know that I understand. And it's about having a therapist or a coach that you, at least to a certain degree, can understand what you've been through. And that just agrees sort of like with everything you're saying. It goes across the board. So yeah. Find someone who, if you can, find someone who shares, a certain kind of trauma as a therapist or has experience with it, or specializes in it, for whatever reason. And it's so important. So important.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Because that's what we're all looking for in those dark times, is someone to understand us, to listen and understand us, not judge. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
see, that's the thing about language. A lot of people play it fast and loose. They say words like trustworthy, dependable, caring, considerate, but we forget everyone understands those words differently. So I may understand what trust is very differently than Nitti Gritti or Vinnie. And so all three of us may have completely different definitions of it. And I think part of that is understanding that we need to meet in the middle in every relationship that we're in, and understand that it's going to be a different experience for everybody. And we're all coming from different coping skills and communication skills, potentially projecting our own baggage and understanding of those things onto our relationships or other people, which is not healthy. And that's why it's important to seek mental health counseling and therapy, life coaching, the whole kit and caboodle, you name it.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Right? Just walks in and drops the mic. That was what he did.
As he should.
Amazing, right?
We love it.
Yes, like what she's saying makes exact sense, because it's like, why do you think most trust issues stem from insecurities? Because it's from within you. Your feeling of this person has betrayed my trust is because you put an ideal on them and they didn't live up to it. So really, did they break your trust, or did you put an imaginary illusion inside of your head, and then when that doesn't go the way you want, you get broken from it?
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. That was
Thank you,
interesting.
Allie.
I mean, I love the fact that she was able to do that. Like, she definitely has been dropping hints. Girl, this can't be your first baggage check. Oh, this is Allie Tay. Allie Tay, she already know what it is. Hey, girl, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought you were somebody else, baby. Hey, girl, it's probably because you're not giggling. Allie Tay, you usually sound like you higher than the kite, girl. What's going on?
No, she's in serious mode. I usually experience this, Allie, to be honest.
You have?
Yeah, well, if she comes in to comment, or you know what I mean, and stuff like that, because it's always some kind of deep talk.
I usually get the super high, energetic, lighthearted version of Allie Tay. But you know what it is? Like I said, it's a Mercury.
Yeah, that's what she is in her talk. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Mercury is either in like Venus or Pisces or something like that. Or retrogrades in like Pisces or Aries. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on, but it's getting a little crazy right now. And no one.
It happens though. These weird kind of like energy periods, like there are peaks and valleys. Like I said, the world is constantly in flux. So it's like a rainy day, Vinnie, but emotionally.
Oh, trust me, I had a rainy weekend.
Right? There you go. But they end.
And
The
there's a
sun comes
song.
back.
There's a song
It's gonna
called
be
Ghost Town
bright. Sorry, go
by
ahead.
Chloe George. And the song is supposed to be a happy song, I think. But when I first heard, I heard the song over the weekend. When I tell you I've been crying myself to sleep for the last couple nights to this fucking song. I don't know why, but the song just kind of like hit me. I'm one of those people, like, music just transcends past actual communication for me. So, like, there'll be times I'll listen to music and it'll just have me wrapped up and I'll be in a complete, like, Vinnie, what's wrong with you? Like, just give me a moment. I'm an emotional person. But yeah.
It's all right.
These messages, you guys, we appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Let's get back to see what you guys are saying.
Hi, Nitty Gritty. Hi, Vinnie Blanco. I just popped in, but I heard you guys are about to finish up, so I'm sorry I missed this live, but I just wanted to shout out to you guys and say hi, and I hope you had a great show, and figured since I'm here, I might as well, say how do you do, but I hope you both have an amazing day and had a great live. I'm so sorry I missed it, but yes, love to you both. Shout out to you both.
Right on, Lost in the Sauce. What's up?
Shout out to you, girl. We still gonna be here till 8 o'clock, girl. I'm pushing myself because that's what bad bitches do.
Speaking of Lost in the Sauce, I'm doing a talk with her on Friday. We're gonna have a regular talk on Friday.
Ooh, look at you going back to original Lost in the Sauce, Lost in the Nitty Gritty, bitch.
Right? Back by popular demand.
Who's been demanding?
Me.
I love that. Yeah. Shout out to you, Lost in the Sauce, girl. Thank you so much for coming through and showing love.
Vinnie said, "You're not in love with me already?" Oh, exactly. Damn straight. Nitty Gritty, get it together. How could you not be in love with Vinnie already? Come on.
That's just the energy I'm bringing this year. I'm with everybody, no matter who you are. I'm like, if you are not already head over heels in love, ready to put a ring on it, bitch, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I read somewhere, I posted a story on my Instagram the other day. It's this girl named Cleopatra. She's hilarious. She makes videos and TikToks and stuff. So listen to me carefully. I'm going to say this one good time. The talking stage is dead. Period. Y'all be thinking that at this big old age in y'all lives, that when you talking to somebody, that's literally you setting up yourself up for marriage with the person, and that's not. She's like, you know what talking is? Talking is wasting my time. Either we're together or not. Let it be known. I was like, oh, bitch, I feel every inch and every piece of that message. Because I think so many times we often kind of buy into that trifecta, and we end up wasting our time to people who really wasn't worth it. And that's why we were so comfortable with kind of positioning ourselves to be in this space where we're talking to people. Bitch, I talk for a living. Y'all see what I'm doing? I'm podcasting, bitch. I don't need to talk not no more. I don't need to talk about nothing.
Hey, that's your ministry. I love it.
I'm just telling. So that's the energy I'm bringing this year. Yeah, girl, what are we doing? Are we together or not? No, then we lose my time. But shout out to Lost in the Sauce. We appreciate you, girl. Let's keep rolling with these messages.
Ooh, teacher, pick me. Okay, I have a great example on this. I can depend on a lot of people to show up to my shows on stereo. However, I don't trust all of them.
Interesting. Right. You can depend on people to do, I guess, I get what, to do what's in their best interest or to do what they want to do. Yeah, I get what he means. Like, you dependability versus trust. Fascinating. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like dependability is probably like one way, like it's like very one dimensional.
Right. It's more wide scoping and not as deep. It doesn't get as close to trust. Like trust is
like
closer.
I can put you in any type of situation and I have faith that you are going to come out on the opposite side, shining like gold, because I've been around you long enough and seen your character be tested enough. And that's another thing, y'all. Pay attention to when people are put out of character, yo. Pay attention to when people are put in situations where they're taken completely out of character. Because how they conduct themselves is going to be a surefire sign of how they're going to act towards you. When shit hit the fan. That's what shit. Like, pay attention to the shit that they talk about, what they like about their friends or their family when they mad at them. To pay attention. Pay attention, because it's going to be a surefire way of what they're going to do to you when you go through
You
those
are
same
not
type
the
of
exception.
situations.
Yeah, you
Absolutely
are not
not.
the exception.
Absolutely not. And I tell people that all the time, like, pay attention, yo.
I'm
Like,
different.
it's no way. He
She's
just cussed out
different
his
with
whole
me.
moms.
She's different with me,
His
Vinnie.
whole moms.
Hey,
She gave him life,
listen.
and she called her all types of bitches and hoes. And you
I
think
know.
that
Well,
he's
I didn't
gonna
like my
cherish you?
mom, so
Huh?
she just, so she bitched out her mom. She's different with me. I'm special.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay. You call me 2 months from now and tell me how special you feel.
That's just okay.
That's what I tell. That's my. I get that from my mom. My mom's like, okay.
Right.
My mom don't argue no more. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna let life be the deciding factor on this.
But there's some wisdom in that too, because that's your mom's wisdom of saying, like, okay, you're not going to be able to hear me now. You need to learn this lesson by going through it. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's what we have to be able to do sometimes. Like, some people are just going to have to go through whatever they're going through, even though they're desperately asking you to save them from it, but they're not taking the actions towards doing anything. So, it's like you have to be like, okay, I hear you talking. I'm just going to wait to see if you're going to walk.
People are really not looking to be saved, though. People are looking to be coddled.
Well, that too. That's a whole different. Yeah, that you're absolutely right. Like yes,
me saving you from the disappointments of life and the growing pains of life ain't me saving you. That's me coddling you.
Yes.
And that I don't have space or time or energy to do so with.
Right.
I'm saving that energy for my children, who will need it because they will be of the the consenting age to receive that type of energy from their parents. But it's just like, as far as like grown ass adults, like, I'm sorry, like, I can't be everybody's mom. I know I give very much maternal energy over here. I love that about my personality, and I love when I'm able to have spaces like this, and our talk that we do weekly on Wednesdays. To be able to give that and nurturing energy. But I'm not nobody mama. So,
right.
Right. And I'm not about to take that job.
Right. True.
I'm not about to take that job unless I'm starting to get. Unless you want to tell the state to start sending me some foster
support
checks,
right?
Yes. Somebody state you be paying me some fucking money. Shit. But no, that was just me teasing you guys. But yeah, we're a little back. We got messages. We got a message.
Hello, people.
Let's see what they say out here in these stereo streets.
EMC, yes. Hi, girl. I completely agree. I just want to say finding the right therapist is so important. And I love that you didn't give up and just, listen to what everyone said, that it was a lost cause. And you said, I'm going to go out and find the right person for me and the right help for me. And I think that's beautiful. Anyway, I'm too high and I'm rambling. I'm going to shut up now. But yeah, shout out to you, girl.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Lost.
Yes, and
we're losing Vinnie for a second. Vinnie,
I'm here.
Okay.
I just had to do a hard close because sometimes the app be freezing. Hold on, y'all.
Do what you gotta do, Vinnie. We're just happy you're staying with us for this last.
Of course.
15
Where the
minutes.
fuck am I going? On my damn show.
I'm just saying.
I could see if I was guest starring. Like, girl, this is my show. Where am I going?
Right. Of course. Let's
play this message.
XO, Vinnie, Blanco, and Nitti Gritti. What's going on? How are y'all doing today?
We're doing good,
Smokey.
Thank you so much for coming in, love. When do you think that trust should be applied? When is trust given? When is trust initiated in I don't want to say relationship with someone, because I feel like sometimes relationship is just such a deep word for a lot of people.
Right.
And some of y'all get triggered by that word. I need y'all to get some mental health services for that shit. Because it's
important to understand, like, the base understanding of what a relationship is like every single interaction you have is a version of a relationship. They're just different severities or intensities. Even if you're just making an angry, like, somebody cuts you off in the road, you have a little mini instant relationship with that person. Fuck that guy. then it's over.
And whether you want to acknowledge or not, or accept it or not, relationships are literally like essential for coexisting in this world that we live in. So you're gonna have to learn how to accept, understand, and also learn how to be receptive of relationships and do what it takes to have to, invest in your relationships, because relationships are not one-way streets, and no relationship will allow you to get everything that you want out of the situation. I don't care who the fuck you are. That's just really what it is. Like, no relationship is going to be based out of you getting everything that you want.
Jeez, no. Yeah, that's manipulation. That's but it is a kind of relationship, yeah. So gotta watch out.
Yep. Snakes in the grass, it's time to cut the lawn.
No, exactly. If you keep everything neat and tidy, which doesn't mean that you can't be wild and crazy sometimes, but like keep your your mind and your body balanced so that when you do go crazy, you come back when you want to.
That way you're easy to center yourself, which is why I'm always saying that therapy should be used as a preventative. So many times people use it as a damage control measure. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I just flew off the rails and now I got to reel myself back in. But literally, therapy is meant for people to avoid having to get to those spaces. Like, if you feel like you are on the path of losing your mind, then you probably need to check into therapy sooner than later so that you can prevent yourself from actually having to go through the emotional warfare that is attached with losing your shit and the shit hitting the fan. So I really want us to normalize that being a thing too. Making therapy and mental health services a preventative measure. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but that was just on my heart to say. Let me play the rest of some more of these messages.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. I love it.
Absolutely.
Vinnie, I'm sorry you had a rainy weekend, but I hope the rest of your week is much better and you feel better.
Thank you, love. I'm just an emotional girl. I cornered myself off from the world for a long period of time. So me being out in the world and being rubbing energies with people, as an empath was exhausting.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And then a lot of that also was just like triggering too, because I had to like reflect, because you guys know I'm turning 30 in 2 weeks. So and so, this whole month has been nothing but reflecting. I started off this month really excited, and now I'm just like, no, girl, like, we really turning 30, bitch. Like, it sounds real cute, but this is real life. And so we really needed to make this a moment to, like, reflect and, all of that. But I'm good, girl. Don't pay me no mind, because God knows I don't. Let me play these messages.
That is not self-love, Vinnie. I love it. Okay.
Sometimes it is, though. Sometimes in the best interest of me, I have to pay me no mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes in my own best interest, I'm like, girl, I'm paying it dust. Like, I'm paying to the point where I'm taking allergy medicine because I can't stop myself from sneezing. Right. Because if I pay attention to everything that comes across my mind, I will be in such an emotionally fragile and mentally ill place. It just would not be It just would not be a good equation. So, in my best interest, sometimes I have to chuck shit up to the wind. Like, girl, this is a chop. Yeah.
Fair enough, right? Abandon a way of thinking or something, whatever it is that you were formulating. It's like, I gotta let this go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta,
have to. Everything can't be a crisis,
right? And not every plan you make is gonna work out.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
Yeah.
The music transcendent thing, that's definitely your Scorpio moon talking. Over and out.
Oh, there you go.
For sure. I really need to start reading more of my horoscopes. I have been having lack of motivation, but I'm definitely going to get into but yeah, definitely music. Oh, girl. Woo, I could be in a whole different world, completely happy, and be bawling my eyes out. The wrong song come on.
Oh yeah.
It's a mess.
Guilty too, or maybe guilty is the wrong word, but yeah, that's I do that too.
Yeah, probably more of us do that than not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I got a lot of sides to me sometimes, and It's right now we're being influenced very strongly by the Gemini constellation, and Mercury retrograde is actually coming up in May on my birthday, and I am a Gemini, so it's a very big influence right now, and like everyone feeling all over the place. That's totally a Gemini. It's just like flirty nature and like emotional, moody, just like, oh, what the hell is going on? But I'm like, I'm used to this. But I got hee hee, and then I get like, no, I know what I'm talking about. Get serious information, factual. I like it's like a spicy bowl of mystery. You never know what you're gonna get.
All right, spicy verse energy. You better come through with the come through, girl. I live for that.
Right?
We appreciate you.
That was great.
Thank you for the clarity. Mm-hmm.
See, and that was a little more like the other alley that we were talking about, right? There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
Vinnie said, I'm podcasting, bitch. I talk enough. I agree, though. If someone's serious about you, if you're trying to get into a serious relationship and they're not ready to lock it down, what's happening? What's good? Why would you waste your time? You're a prize. You only need people who fucking appreciate you for who you are. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, but chances are, if I'm talking to you, it's because I know that you appreciate what you got, or you're showing me signs that you appreciate it. You know, but I need you guys to know what you want. Like, I need y'all to say it with your chest, and I need y'all to walk in what you say. Don't just tell me any little thing that you know that's going to coincide. You know exactly what to say, because I've already told you what I wanted, so you're just lining up with what I want you to say in response to what I've already expressed that I want for my own life experience. Like, just know what you want and stand firm in that. If we don't line up in romantic sense, we friends at the fucking least. You know,
right?
I'm not gonna count you off as a bad dude because you're not looking for the same things that I want. But I'm really gonna have an issue with you if you wasting my time. Like, that's just important. That's
Very
all.
well. I love it.
Respect my time and respect, you know.
Because you respect your time.
Yeah. And respect what I bring to the table. Nobody's going to be... And respect my communication methods. People be thinking that and that's another thing. Like, people think I'm such... Oh, you just want to talk about your feelings all day, every day. Bitch, that's a gift. Like, you know how many people put other people in the position of mind reader? Like, oh, you just supposed to know this shit without being... seeking counsel first, bitch.
I don't want to have to tell you. I want you to already know. Like, well, that's interesting. What do you? I don't know why you're doing that. Why are you doing that?
That shit is so dumb. That shit is so fucking dumb. I hate.
Why are you doing that? I don't
nerve.
understand. That doesn't make any sense. I get that that's what you want, but I don't understand how you expect that to ever happen.
I tell people that all the time, like, yo, that's so dumb. I say, if you want something or if you need something, you have to verbalize that shit. And at the very least, if you don't get what you want, you can walk away from the situation knowing that you made it be known what you needed, and that person was willing of giving it to you. Like, what's the harm in that? Like, I don't think there's any harm in that.
It's honesty. That's again what I was saying, how we got into this weird thing about like being honest is almost being rude. It's like, no, it's being healthy.
Right. Yeah. Normalize telling people what you want. Like, stop that quiet shit. You know, if you're dissatisfied, if you're not satisfied, baby, let that shit be known. Stop settling. Like, stop doing that shit. Because I get mad with y'all for doing that shit. Because I'm going to be the friend, like, bitch, don't call my phone no more about this dumbass shit, but I done told you 20 times about what you need to do, you ain't did it yet. Like, at this point, you
the
fucking
friends that are stuck in a cycle or something. That
I'll be the type of friend, like, bitch, at this fucking point, you earned every bit of this fucking situation, girl, because you ain't shit to help your own damn self. The fuck you looking for me to find sympathy for you, and this ain't even my life. This ain't my man.
And quite often they're looking for somebody to agree with them. If you're in that place where you're trying to be right, watch out.
Right, all the fucking time. And then you want me to speak life into you. I'm like, how am I supposed to speak life into you, and you are your worst enemy?
Right.
Ain't no
you're not even open.
Speak into that situation. That's dead from the jump. You need to go seek some help, baby, because there ain't nothing I can do for you.
Word.
Speak
I
some
love it.
life into me.
Yep.
But if you wouldn't stop killing yourself, then you wouldn't have to worry about me speaking no life into you.
Right. Quit emptying your cup and then coming to me looking to fill it.
Because I'm not doing that shit. The bar is
Right.
closed.
Right. There's no
Last
open bar.
call.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, I just have to say, when Nitti Gritti said we're doing a show and he said back by popular demand, and then when he said who demanded it, that's literally exactly the thought I had in my head, Vinnie. I was like, who, Gritti? Nobody demanded this show from us. Nobody wants this besides you and me, but hopefully people will come. So yes, I'm very excited for our regular show, Gritti, but yeah, nobody demanded it. But Gritti, I liked your answer of you. Yeah, absolutely. But shout out to that. I'm excited for our regular show, Nitti Gritti. Yes.
Right on. Right on to us. Calling me out. Damn it.
I mean nothing shady by it, girl. I was just having a little bit of fun. But I'm glad to see that y'all
See,
are
that
back
was
with y'all.
me trying to gaslight. I'm terrible at it. Right? Back by popular demand. That's gaslighting. It's marketing. Clever phrasing.
We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
Okay. Well, I'm busted.
For marketing purposes.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
Right on. That's life.
Exactly.
Also, I'm sorry. I'm taking a lot of dabs and I drank like 2 energy drinks today. So I'm really hyper and being a lot and I'm going to be quiet now. But you guys are awesome and I'm so glad I caught the end of your show. And thank you for doing this on stereo. You guys are putting out great mental health knowledge here. And I feel like even just being here this short time, I feel better. I feel calmer somehow, even though I'm being very hyper at the same time. So yeah, just thank you both.
Oh. You're welcome, Lost in the Sauce.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, look, Austin's here. Miss Anna Toodles left us a message. My co-host for Friday's episode. If you guys we'll be talking about imposter syndrome on Friday's episode, so definitely tune in. And we'll be back with Nitti Gritti on Monday, talking further about gaslighting. And for those of you who have it, and those of you who don't, and for those of you who may have it and don't even know what gaslighting tendencies are. We're going to have all that wrapped up in a nice, pretty little bow for you guys next week. So definitely make sure that y'all keep it locked. But let's see what Anna Tools has to say. Cool.
Hey guys, hey Vinnie, hey Chris. Just a little quickie. The only person who can waste your time is you, nobody else. That's all I'm saying. Over and out.
We love you, Anna.
Over and out. Love it. Thank you, Anna. Yes. The only person who wastes your time is you.
Period. Who else is up in here in this giggy, Anna?
Whoa. Yeah. So I've been thinking about co-signing a lot lately. Bear with me, it's related. And no, Justine, I don't mean your student loans or mortgage. I mean, it has a lot to do with trust. Because if Nitti and Vinnie both co-sign for somebody, in whatever capacity, maybe it's not related to trust, but that can be a component, they're going to be on my radar in a positive way. So are they mutuals on Facebook or IG? Do they follow each other back? Do they comment back and forth on their stuff? Do they like their posts? You know what I mean? We all co-sign in a variety of ways, on and offline. And that, I think that speaks a lot to who we trust and how we trust.
Absolutely. We also choose to act in a supportive way in that way because we engage. Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely.
Cosign. I like that. Thank you.
I do like that. That was really good.
Ooh, Nitti and Gritti, Nitti and Vinnie, it would be awesome to hear you guys talk about the whole, askers versus guessers thing in a future show.
The askers thing versus the guessers thing. Interesting.
Ooh, Nitti and Gritti, Nitti and Vinnie, it would be awesome to hear you guys talk about the whole, askers versus guessers thing in a future show.
Oh, that would be good. That would be a good conversation to have.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely probably talk about that for sure.
Right, because that's exactly what we were just touching on about that whole, I want you to already know what I want before I tell you, without me telling you kind of desire that has become a habit of so many
And
of
it
us
always be
that
like
ask
the
her.
most toxic bitches who always want that shit. Like, bitch, what you want changes every damn day.
Right.
And you want a man to know what you want.
Moving shit around all the time.
You can't keep a job past 3 months, and you want a man to know what you want.
Right.
Your
Very
credit fucked up, and you
disconnected.
want a man to know what you want. You don't even know who the father of your child is, and you want a man to know what you want.
So he's got a list. Experience.
You can't even find your birth certificate or your social security card, and you want a man to know what you want. Bitch, what is going on? Like, what is going on?
Right? Get your shit together.
The inconsistency, sweetie, it's the inconsistencies for me, baby. We're gonna play this last message, and we have arrived to the end of our show. We appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with us this evening. It's been so
thank
fun,
you.
as per usual. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Once again, follow us if you're not already following us before. And we do this.
And I'm gonna start posting our shows on my YouTube channel too. I'm trying to get it uploaded now, but like I'm gonna start posting for people who if they want to actually go. I don't know if they can do it here, so if you want to re-listen, but just wanted to let that be known. I'm working on that.
Yes. I'll be posting the show on my Instagram as well soon. But yes, you guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We do this every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you got a moment to chill and talk with us, we're going to do this for a cute little 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? I like to get in and get out while I can. Also, I want to keep in respect and keep in mind that my brothers, Mr. Pro Pittman and Vinnie the Great, also do another men's mental health talk every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are doing anything this evening, now that it's 8 o'clock, if you guys wouldn't mind just handing out and checking out my guys over there. They do an amazing talk every Monday evening. And 8 p.m. Show them some love and tell them that Vinnie Blanco sent you. You know what I'm saying? But I love you all. And we're going to get this last message out the way.
Oh, don't worry, Lost in the Sauce. I may not have verbally asked for it, but I was definitely wishing for another one of your shows. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Aww.
Hey!
So you were back by at least popular demand from Charlie. We appreciate you, Charlie.
Yay. Wow. Support.
Nitti, thanks once again for having this conversation with me. You uplifted my spirits today.
Oh, well, right back at you, Vinnie. I felt that was a mutual experience, 100%, as always.
Yeah, I was very drained. It was like, ugh. It was good to kind of get out of my funk and out of my headspace. Even if it was just for a moment.
To breathe, right? That's what I'm always looking for, you know? Life is stressful. Sometimes we just need to find those little pockets to take an extra breath. Doesn't sound like much, but boy, it really helps. It really does. It just takes the edge off, right?
Yes.
But you find your balance a little bit. You know, you still have work to do. I'm sure. Go get some rest. Take care of yourself, Vinnie. But, you know.
For sure.
You're 100%. Awesome.
Oh, thank you. And you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this evening. We appreciate and love every single one of you guys. If you're not doing anything else later this eve or after the show is over, go ahead and check out my guys, Pro Pittman and Vinnie the Great. That's VENIE the Great. And they'll be having Men's Mental Health Mondays on their show. So definitely, Nitti, if you're not doing anything, you should definitely check them out.
Yeah, I'm considering it.
They're super cool. Love them. But until next week, guys, next Monday, we will see you all next week. I will be back on this thing on Friday talking about imposter syndrome with Anna Tittle. So you guys definitely make sure y'all keep it locked on Friday, 6 p.m. same time, Eastern Standard Time. And until then, may God before you, may peace be upon you. Make sure you are taking care of each other. But more importantly, also make sure that you are taking care of yourselves. And we'll be back at this thing on Monday evening. You guys have a good night.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Yay.
Bye, Nitti.
Bye, Vinnie.